Everyone, welcome to this new video. As we discussed in the last lecture, we are going to discuss some rotational operators in this lecture. And so what are rotational operators? We have seen that if we consider this as a block sphere, so every operation either rotates like this, or like this. So these are the forms of rotation. So this is along x-axis. So this inside is the x-axis. So this is rotation along x-axis, and this is y-axis. So this is the rotation along y-axis, and this is along z-axis. This is x-axis rotation, this is z-axis rotation, and this is y-axis rotation. If you get that. So just like that, we are gonna see some new operators which will be based on different. So as we know that these are fixed axes, but suppose if we want to rotate it with some angle with the z-axis, so how are we going to do that? We have a general operator which is you can see here r phi gate, in which we define the angle phi, with which the r phi gate performs a rotation of phi around z axis, phi angle with the z axis. So if this is the z axis and we want to rotate it along this axis, so if this is the sphere, this is the sphere with z axis is the point. So now we want to rotate it like that. I can't show it in this format, but I'm just trying to make you understand. So let's create a new file, Python 3, and copy the last initial rotational operators. So every operator is in general a rotational operator, but we are considering it as a general rotational operators. So this is our name, and then we run this. So r phi gate is parameterized. That means the parameters are provided. R phi. This is parameterized. Now it is also known as RZ gate. So why are you telling that it might be for by RZ, why it is for Z specifically? We can use it similarly for the x-axis, but we can convert it with the help of Hadamard, since we know that x is equals to h Hadamard, z and Hadamard. In the last lecture we studied that. So let's study this gate. As you can see, this is our r phi gate. This phi defines the angle. Phi defines the angle with the z-axis, angle of the new axis along which rotation is to be done with z-axis. So we can easily see that. So now we'll try to code it and see the example. Initially we initiate this. Okay, so this is our initial block vector. We can see that. Now we use qc.rz, and suppose pi by 4 is just some angle, and this is the qubit number. Qubit number we are actually declaring that. And now we draw it, qc.draw, and see that what operator is applied. You can see this is the operator. So now we'll again copy this and then run it. Just see how the rotation has happened. As we can see that along z-axis, if we make an angle, there is no change here, but if we introduce some new operations, then we can see the straightforward change. So once we put a Hadamard, control X, So we see a header mart and then we again run it. So this is now header mart. Then we apply rz pi by 4, 4,0. So now the axis is along z axis and we again print this. You can see the angle is changed. Now we apply some qc dot y0 and v. So that's now changed, and now we apply again rz z pi by 8, or suppose pi by 2, 0, and print it again. So that's how we can move at any point with this operation. Now we just need to where we want to take this qubit, and then we can use the use of these. We can move the single qubit in any direction. So now we'll study some other gates which are actually some special cases of this rotational gate. The first case is I gate. Just how to convert the markdown. This is now I gate. So I gate is an identity gate, so it just does nothing. Suppose Q is equals to quantum circuit. One, and we apply qz dot I. Just see how is it applied. Qz dot, I guess this is right, and we print it like that. So the operation is correct. It is doing nothing. And we can see that the same can be used with the help of, if we apply two x's, x 0 and again qc dot x0, so it comes back to again to that location. Now we will study the S gate. The next gate is mentioned to S gate. It is also called root Z gate. This is an R5 gate with phi pi by 2. So this is Z gate with phi equals to pi by 2. So Z gate is phi equal to pi by 2, pi, but Z gate is phi by 2. So that's why we can call it root of Z. So that is, we can see this is the case. It is important to know that unlike every gate introduced, the S gate is not say inverse. So as a result, it will often S dagger gate. So this is not actually a unit, not itself. So it's not Hermitian. Hermitian matrix is if it's complex conjugate of itself and complex transpose conjugate. Not Hermitian, or sorry, it's not inverse, so either not the case of inverse. Okay, so now we study the S gate. The names are due to fact two successfully applied gates has same effect of one Z gate. So we'll do the same only. Control Z. We will declare this, and we do 0 and see what happens. So nothing is happening. Why is this? S of 0. Let's convert it to first to x comma 0, qc comma x comma 0. You can see the s is happening, and now we see this. So this is okay, no problem. The names root z gate is due to the fact that two successfully apply s gates are same as one z gate, sqzk. This notation is common throughout quantum computing. Okay, so just remember this. Also, if you want to apply s dagger, you can just start do that. First convert it to Hada mode, I guess. So this is actually turning, and if we use s gate, so let's see how is this changing. So if we use s, then it comes here, and if s dagger, then it comes here. So no problem with that. Now we use t gate. So what is t gate? T gate is very commonly used with r phi equals to pi by 4. So s is pi by 2, z is pi, and t gate is pi by 4. By 4. Now we use the same example. Just see, we do with s, we 90° we made the transition, and with t we made a 45° transition. So you can see that this is with the pi by 4 and pi by 2. Now if we want to give some general form of gates, general gates, what so we are seeing that this is not any operation is not making the vector get out of the block sphere itself. So the magnitude of the vector is preserved. So this kind of gates which are applied to a state are called unitary. So they have means if they are multiplied with their dagger, they have unit trace. Okay, so they are actually equal to identity matrix. So this is the format of any you can see this gate can be defined as with theta, phi and lambda. So you can see the lambda is and phi is defined as it is. Now we will study some theory. I, Z, S, T gates were special cases of general R phi gate. In the same way, U3 gate is the most general of all the single qubit quantum gates. So this is the parent gate. Now if we replace the theta with different values and lambda and phi, we can derive every other gate with the help of this. Qiskit provides U2 and U1 gates. This is a U3 gate, which are specific cases of U3 gate with theta equals to pi by 2 and theta respectively. So U1 is U3 plus theta equals to pi by 2, and U2 is equals to u3 plus theta equals to 0 and phi equals to 0. Okay, I think you can use some other gates and you can experiment yourself. And as you can see that these gates are not very tough, but they just need a lot of practice so that you can see how it is happening. Just try to play with them, play as much as possible, and you will easily understand them. It's not very tough. It sure looks intimidating, but it's completely straightforward. We are rotating a block sphere and we are deciding the axis with the help of theta and phi. That is all the thing is about. Okay, so what are we doing? We have a cubit. Initially it is started with z, and then we decide an axis with the help of theta and phi and rotate it around it. So this z will, since this is rotated around, so this comes here if we stop the initial with the initial position. So this is not going anywhere, but the block sphere is itself is rotating. And how is rotating? With the axis that is defined by theta and phi. That is all any operator is. So nothing to be getting confused, and I hope you, whenever you will practice now, you will understand what I am trying to convey. Let's go to the next lecture, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you.